Hey, welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Scott. That's Dave. And today we are dipping into the classic Sinbad movies. And what do we got today, Dave?
Today is Eye of the Tiger, starring Patrick Wayne.
Yes.
And
I had seen this before.
You did see this?
I had, as a child. I was watching this as like, I remember old Birdfoot.
Yeah. And it had Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman in it as the main squeeze.
Oh,
that was the
right.
princess. You didn't recognize
Jane
her?
Seymour.
Jane
I don't
Seymour.
pay attention. I did recognize Taryn Power. I had seen her in a lot of movies.
I was trying to place her, and I'm like, oh my God, that girl is so pretty. And I'm like, where have I seen her before?
Almost
Could
everything.
not think of any movies. I'm like,
I've seen her before. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had texted you about, that's me making noise on my keypad here. I had texted you about, did you catch the second Doctor?
Yeah, I wasn't even paying
Troughton.
attention. Yeah, Patrick Troughton.
That's the main wizard that Sinbad goes to get help is Patrick Troughton.
Yeah.
And of course he helped because he's the Doctor. That's what he does.
Yeah, he's the Doctor. He didn't have a screwdriver, but he kept ancient scrolls that are thousands of years old at the bottom of a guinea pig cage. Because that's where
Why not?
I thought that was funny. Where's them scrolls? Now, here's the thing. Before I'm going to be all over the place. I really enjoyed this movie.
All right.
I really did.
Yeah.
But a few things that I found interesting is, well, when they find him, and I can't think of his character's name, he seems to be very much Greek because he keeps calling out or mentioning Apollo and the gods, the Greek gods.
Right.
The scrolls he pulled out were Sumerian. So I was like, okay, Sumerian. But by the time we get to the end of the movie, we're in an Egyptian pyramid on the North Pole. And it's like, cool. You just took everything and just melted it right together. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, because at first I thought, oh, there's a continuity. Well, you've got Sumerian, you've got Egyptian, we got different time periods, we got Greek, but it works. And it was just because
it's all the legend of the North Pole. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very freaking cool. I liked it. The only problem that I have now as an adult looking at this movie, and it was a problem. One of the problems was when I was a little kid, I had a problem. They had that big freaking Minotaur, the big mechanical thing that was doing all the rowing. And you're expecting this to have a big moment. You're expecting this big Minotaur giant to have a moment to just fight and be just the big Minotaur bull thing. He gets crushed by a rock.
Yeah.
He rows and rows and rows and rows, and then a big rock falls on him. It's like,
that's it.
That's it. You had this great character, this big monster, and you didn't even use him.
Yeah. And Harry
that even bothered me when I was a kid.
Yeah, and Harryhausen's animation of all of this stuff was great. Now, one of the things I thought was interesting is when they get to the North Pole and they find Trog, this like throwback creature. At first, I thought, what is was it Calibus doing here from Clash of the Titans?
Right, he did look a lot like Calibus.
It looked a lot. If they'd have put a tail, so I wonder. I'm going to have to do some research and see if Harryhausen went and just I had this model already. Let me just modify it into this for Clash.
Well, I think this came before Clash of the Titans, didn't it? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
And that's what I'm saying. I wonder if he took this model when he did Clash of the Titans and added his tail. Yeah, because this was 77 and Clash is 81, I think, or something like that. Yeah. So it was.
The only other thing that I had a problem with is Sinbad is a man of action.
Mm-hmm.
He jumps in, he's got the sword, he swings on the rope, he saves the damsel, and goes about his business, wreaking havoc and making love to women and drinking wine. In this one, he seemed to wait to be told what to do a lot.
Yeah.
He was following direction a lot. And I was just like, oh. And I didn't catch that so much as a kid as I did now. We were watching it last night, and the wife was like, he's getting told to do a lot of stuff. I was like, yeah, he really, that kind of
I didn't even catch that, but yeah, that's a good point because
yeah, I'm sorry.
Does I don't. Where did these Sinbad stories come from? Do they come from books, or people just made them as movies, or what's the deal? Do you know?
1001 Arabian Nights, I believe, is the
Okay. Okay. So that.
origin of the Sinbad stories.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
believe he is supposed to be an Arabian prince or an Arabian pirate or something like that.
Okay. All right.
Um,
I wasn't sure of that.
Yeah, that's if I remember correctly, that's where the Sinbad stories come from. I think I don't know how many Sinbad stories there really are,
Hmm.
and I couldn't tell you whether they were any good. I know I love the Harryhausen Sinbads though.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
you don't get
he
any
did
better than that.
magic. Yeah, he did magic with the stop motion. And I was thinking of this when I was
Totally.
watching it. It's like, you started with the stop motion, and then in came
Mhm.
Jim Henson with the Muppets and all of
Yeah,
that. And then we had so many puppets that were created. And now we're on to a world of CGI.
yeah,
So it's just neat to see the evolution of it. And you're looking back, it's like, man, it's
yeah.
fantastic because if you have any idea what goes into making a movie, seeing that these people figured out how to do this at a time there were no computers to do this, um,
Right.
it's impressive. It is downright
But
impressive.
and with you said with going to the stop motion puppets and then
Yeah.
CGI, well, they're coming back to puppets now too
Yes.
because of Baby Yoda. I mean,
Yes. Absolutely. Here's our Star Wars reference, peeps.
yeah, there you go. I had to get the Star Wars reference in there. But yeah, we do that a lot, don't we? Uh, but it's
Almost every
really
episode.
interesting that they went all the way back to, well, now we have another puppet, and now
Yes.
you have something to act against. And now the next thing is somebody's going to start doing stop motion again and make it a big thing, which I love. I like Aardman animation. When they come out with their stop motion, I will watch anything by
Hmm.
Aardman. It's some of the best stuff that you can get, I think.
Well,
Pretty
you
much.
mentioned the puppets and Baby Yoda, and that's just one thing that I really think of is the first Jurassic Park. It was so
Yeah.
phenomenal because he did use animatronics, and it's like
Mhm.
amazing. And now we're all CGI, and there's just while it looks to the eye absolutely amazing, it's just soulless, and it's
Yeah.
some of it looks phenomenal, and it's really believable. But I think the actors have an easier time when there's actually something besides a green tennis ball in front of them to act against.
Right.
So
Right.
it's you know
I would agree with that
there's
100%.
a
Yeah.
place for everything. I love seeing what can be done with CGI. It's absolutely phenomenal. But
Mhm.
to the puppetry and stuff to bring that in, as we've said a million times before, if Baby Yoda was CGI, it wouldn't have the same effect. You just know it wouldn't.
No, not at all. I don't think it could, because when you see those big eyes, even as an actor, I mean, I see these damn things being sold at Walmart, and I just want to pick one up and buy it. I'm
Yes.
like, oh, I need a Baby Yoda. It's like those big eyes, the ears, the little, the look in its eye, and they
Hmm.
made a really good toy. I mean, it's a really nice looking figure, and I'll probably wind up buying one eventually.
Right.
I don't know where the hell I'm going to put it with all my crap that I gotta clean up again, but I got a lot of stuff. I started painting again,
Very good.
but but it's you have something to look at. You have something to act against. Whereas, like you said, here's a golf ball. It's in your hand. Pretend
Yeah.
it's a baby Yoda. Well, what does a baby Yoda look like? Like a younger Yoda? I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's a lot
Just
of work
pretend
on
it's
the
cute.
actors' parts to do,
Yeah,
and they do a great job. Don't get me wrong, but it's man, if you can have something to actually respond to you and act against, it's much
you're
easier.
right.
It's so
Thank
much
God they
easier.
took what's his name's advice.
Yeah, Werner Herzog, thank you.
Yeah, Werner Herzog. You
But
must
the
embrace the
yes,
child.
the Sinbad movie though, I remember liking this as a kid, and I liked it just as
Yeah.
much this time. But what really disappointed me is where are our Sinbad movies today?
Somebody had made a Sinbad movie and put it out on Netflix, and I haven't watched it yet.
Really?
It's a newer movie, and it says it has stop motion in it. So if you just pop in Sinbad, and the guy
Look,
in the little picture, he looks like the same guy from The Mummy, the bald-headed guy from The Mummy. I don't think it
Uh-huh.
is, but he looks like that guy. So when you see that image, you'll know it's him. And I forgot what it is. It's Sinbad and the something voyage or the voyage of Sinbad or
Very
whatever.
cool. Very cool.
But I want to watch it just to see if it has that same. If this guy's a Harryhausen fan, you'll know in 5 or 10 minutes into
You'll
the
know
movie.
right away. And that's cool,
Yeah.
but like they redid Clash of the Titans, and I really enjoyed the remake. I thought that was really well done. I would love
Right.
to see. There's no reason we can't have these adventure movies. It doesn't have to be Sinbad, but where did these adventure movies go? You know,
Yeah.
these
Well,
grand
everybody
voyages.
wants real. Everybody's like, oh, it's realism. We need realism. No, you don't.
I want
The reason
fantastical
movies were,
creatures and monsters and
yeah, the reason these movies were initially created were to get away from realism. I don't want to see, drug deals in a movie. I'm sorry. It's,
no.
the French Connection ruined that for me. It's like, okay, this is hitting too close to home, man. This is too much like Detroit.
Well, that's just it.
And half the people I know
I watch
or
movies.
knew.
I watch TV. I watch movies. I play video games to escape reality.
Right.
I don't want to go see a movie that is based on something that is current. I don't know
Right.
how people can actually love that. It's like if I want to see assholes and political talk and everything, I just go to work. It's just not,
Yeah,
you
right.
know,
And talk to those assholes.
and talk to those assholes.
Wait, I am that asshole. Wait a minute.
And there you have it. But
I rest my case.
it's just I find movies an escape,
No,
and this
I
was
get
a
it.
great escapism film, and I want more.
So good.
I would love to see Dwayne Johnson take on the role. I don't know how
I
you
don't
feel
know if
about The
I'd
Rock.
use him.
Oh God, I would.
No, I like The Rock. I have problems with The Rock, but I do like The Rock.
Mhm.
I think he's
As
a
an
good
actor.
guy. He seems well, he actually seems like a good guy too.
Yeah.
There's just sometimes I just think that people need to shut up and just,
That goes with
and I think
anybody.
yeah, it really does. I mean, even I talk too much. It shouldn't think so much. Believe it or not, Scott, I don't know if you've noticed. There are times
I
when
don't know.
let
You
my
told me
ass
this.
override my mouth.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying, I envision him, and the reason I say him, and it could be anybody, it's just one of the things that seemed to be lacking from this movie was some kick-ass fight choreography.
Right.
Some
Right.
major, I mean, bordering on some wushu fights would have been insane. Just I want
Yeah.
to see nonstop sword fighting, and it doesn't even have to be graphic, but just a lot more action. This did not have a lot of
No, I
the
get it.
so, and I just for some reason I thought, man, I could see The Rock on his ship. He
I
looks
can see
good.
that.
He's a badass.
He have his
He could
shirt
act.
off with those pirate pants on, and every woman would
Well,
be
fuck it,
swooning, wanting to go.
Jason Momoa.
No, Jason.
No.
Oh my God! Why does everybody love this guy? I think
He
he's
has
a
the look.
mediocre actor.
Okay.
I would never say it to his face because he's a monster and he could break me in half. But
He's not as big as he looks.
he'll never see this. So no, honestly, I haven't seen the Aquaman movie, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll watch the Aquaman movie.
It's not bad. It's not
He'd be
bad,
a
dude.
perfect Sinbad.
He may be.
There
and
are,
I'm-
yeah, I could.
Yeah.
And I think they need to keep it in camera. The effects need to be in camera as much as possible.
Mhm.
If you can get somebody to do actual models like Harryhausen, I
Yeah.
would rather see that than CGI, only because it would bring that old feeling back. I think you know what I mean.
I see
And,
both sides of that. I'm with you because I think it would be absolutely cool to bring that old feeling back, but I would also love to see it updated like Clash of the Titans was.
Yeah, and that wouldn't bother me. I think you could do a nice mix, like those demons jumping out of the fire when she calls
At the
in
beginning?
movie, right?
Oh,
Yeah, at the beginning when she calls those three demons out of the fire,
that was great.
and he's sword fighting, and you finally see Sinbad stab one of these things through the heart, and you're like, yeah, he killed one, and the thing looks down and like takes the sword out and throws it down. It's like that's not fair. You're not allowed to live after I stab you in the heart.
Yeah.
Didn't even affect this thing. And there was like three of them chasing him. So that was really cool.
It was cool.
Let's talk a little bit more about the story. The prince is about ready to be crowned.
Mhm.
The evil witch and her son want the kingdom. So she throws a curse on the prince that he has to be crowned by a certain date, or somehow her son takes over. I guess they're cousins or something, and he's the next in line for the throne.
I thought
Um,
I thought they
is
mentioned
that
she
not? Did I get
was
it
a
wrong?
stepmother. I thought they said
Okay,
stepmother.
but that was her son, right? The other kid was her
Yes,
son.
yes.
Okay,
But
so
she
that's
was the
they were just
prince's stepmother. Yeah, if I'm
right.
not
So she
mistaken.
was basically just going to put her son. No, you're right, because
But even her husband, I
Doctor
guess,
Quinn,
was afraid of her.
yeah, Doctor Quinn, medicine woman, even said that was her stepmother.
Yeah. Oh my
Why
gosh.
somebody didn't just kill her right away? Well, like when she got on my boat, if I was Sinbad, I would have put a sword through her and
Yeah,
went, okay,
done.
we. There was that's another little thing for me in this movie. There were a whole lot of moments where you're like, why didn't you just kill that person? Like
Yeah,
right there when she rode up with her son, that was it. That was their army
yeah.
because none of the knights were with her.
Nope.
They were all with the dad. They were all with the daughter.
Yeah. So she had to
So
build this
what? Why
Minotaur.
didn't you just kill her? She's just
Yeah.
standing right there. Kill her.
It would have been done.
Kill the son. Kill her. Done.
Yeah.
No movie, I guess, though. So I mean,
Yeah, no
I think
movie.
if you're going to remake this movie, you have to make that a little bit. She has to be a lot harder to kill than she apparently was in this movie because I would have
Well,
just stabbed her. Oh, this is your problem? Chop
well,
off her head, throw it overboard.
not
You're
only
done.
that, at the end, she sacrificed her son real quick.
Oh yeah.
I was
Oh
like,
yeah. And then she's
damn.
upset that her son's dead.
Yeah, it's like,
Really?
bitch, you did
Yes.
it. And then she went down fairly quick then too. So she was not as huge a
Yeah.
threat
Yeah.
as the
Right. That's what I mean.
environments.
Like you guys could have taken her out a long time ago. I don't
Yeah.
understand why somebody just poison her. And even if you don't want to poison her, you have enough knights that before she got one curse out or one spell, bow and arrow, about 100 yards away,
Yeah. Yeah.
done.
Yeah. And that's
So, so if anybody wants to remake this movie, they're going to have to rewrite her and make her a lot
yeah.
more
And
powerful and give her more of an army around her. I don't know.
I wouldn't even
But
say they
other
need
than
to.
that,
I wouldn't even say remake the movies. Just let's have some new stories. Let's continue some Sinbad. And
I
that's
dig that, but I still love these stories. I mean, the
they're good.
demons jumping out of the fire.
Oh, that was good. That's.
The
I texted you. I said Harryhausen is a fucking magician at that point. It's like
yeah,
because it was like
yeah,
yes,
absolutely,
I felt like I was a little kid watching this movie again because I had seen it back in the
exactly.
'70s.
Oh,
Mm, great.
again, this is another movie I saw at a drive-in as a little kid.
Yeah.
I remember sitting at the drive-in. I remember the it was a summer day. I just remember, well, summer night, not a summer day. And it was just
Why do I
so
have grease in my
get the
head?
drive-in dust, yeah, drifting away. Ooh, sorry. I knew you weren't going to leave me hanging.
No, it was there, man. It was there. I'm sorry. Grease is an
Low
awesome
food.
movie.
But yeah, the when he's doing the baboon, you can see a whole lot of his inspiration from King Kong. The way the baboon's like brushing his
Mhm.
shoulder and looking around and just moving stuff. So much King Kong in that
Yeah.
one guy. It was just so good. And the
Yeah.
heft of the troglodytes club, whoosh, how you can see the weight of that tree that he's carrying around because it's basically a tree. That it's a club, but it's a tree.
One of the things that he did with Prince Kasim as the baboon, which I was just blown away by, is he gave that animation so much emotion.
Yeah,
It was like, holy crap. That's so hard,
yeah,
frame by frame, every little movement. And he
uh-huh,
made me believe that baboon was alive. And
yeah.
it was great. It was great. Plain
There's
chess.
nobody.
Plain fucking chess. Yeah.
How? I mean, I was watching that the other night, and I'm looking at it, and I literally forgot that was a miniature, that was stop motion,
Yeah.
because how we were talking about Clash of the Titans, some scenes you look at and go, oh yeah, that's bad. Oh, that's a bad cut. And some scenes you're like, oh, that looked pretty good. This is probably one of the best moments of mixing stop motion and live action
Yeah.
that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Is
because they blended
I just
so
forgot
well.
that it was, yeah, I just forgot it was a stop motion, because he's moving the chess piece, and then the person moves the chess piece, and they're just playing a game of chess,
Yeah.
and it's just amazing. Yeah, that is just a good piece of filmmaking
Oh, it
right
is,
there.
and that's one thing I remember is that it was like there was a puppet there. You know, like
Right,
somebody might have been in
right,
a motion capture suit, fully expected Andy Serkis
right.
to be there doing that, you know,
And
because he
suddenly
does
Andy
everything.
Serkis shows up.
Yeah,
Yeah, who's this guy? Oh, don't worry about him.
he does every animal,
Yeah, he
every.
does everybody. He does hobbits. He does the big tall guys that are evil Jedi.
But so that is what's really cool on that is, and I
Yeah,
don't know where I was going with it, but that is a moment there that really takes you out of it. But takes you out of the, oh, I'm looking at stop motion and thinking it's real. It
right.
could have been a puppet, and it could have been right there side by side, and they weren't,
Mhm.
and it was well done,
That's
seamless.
until you mentioned that chess scene. It was so seamless that I never. This is how good it was, folks. It was so good, I didn't question it. The only thing
No,
I thought was funny was, oh look, a baboon playing chess.
yeah, and of course so did one
It
of
didn't dawn
Sinbad's
on me
crewmen.
the it didn't dawn on me the complications of making that scene happen. It didn't dawn on me that that monkey wasn't actually in the room
Right.
with the person that was playing chess against it, until you said that, and I was like, holy crap, that's how good that scene is. It's like lettering in comic books. If you notice it, it's bad.
Good point. Good point.
It's the
That's
silent art.
that is one of the things that we've already talked about is actors working against nothing. Well, here's a case of an actor working against nothing
Yeah,
throughout the whole movie. And they did
yeah,
a good job. So it's the CGI and the stop motion share a lot of that. Except with a lot of CGI now, you'll have Andy Serkis and Doug Jones or somebody in a mocap suit, and they'll at least be there. But it's
yeah. I was gonna say they're at least playing against the person that,
right.
and that you can tell the difference on so much. I
Yeah,
think
because the things just
of the
don't
acting.
quite line up. And they
Uh-huh.
did a good job. And using the green screens back then and everything, it doesn't translate as well as it does now. You can get away with more.
Right.
So it's very obvious. But to
Mhm.
me, watching a Harryhausen movie with the stop motion is like watching a foreign film with subtitles. Sooner or later, you forget your
Yeah.
reading, and
Yes,
that's
exactly. You don't notice it. That's how good Harryhausen was,
yeah. It was
and I'm glad I discovered him as a kid.
yeah.
I really am, because it's just, if you're gonna do stop motion, if you're gonna do CGI, I think this is a guy that everybody turns to. I think
They
everybody
should.
looks at Harryhausen and says, that's the grandfather, that's the godfather of what we do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah. Do you have anything else to add to this? I mean, other
Other
than
than
Patrick Wayne being Sinbad, which I
yeah,
thought was great, I would have loved to have seen him do one or two more. I really
yeah,
would have, because he
yeah,
was
he
just
was.
he just had the big broad shoulders, the curly wavy hair. It's like he was just like, I'm too damn good looking. He didn't
Well,
speak
here's
with a
here's
Muslim
what's
accent or anything.
interesting. Yeah, here's what's interesting about that. Look at the time period and look at what your action stars looked like, and look at what they
Yeah,
look like now. Who was the first person I mentioned? Was The
right,
Rock, who is like massive, and then here's Patrick
right,
Wayne, who's a normal guy, and it's like, you know what? Wow, we have
right.
really changed the ideal hero look, which is it's interesting.
Yeah, I could though. I'm just trying to think of any young guy that could pull that off, and I mean young guy like that looks that's not Johnny Depp trying to play a young guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because you get Johnny Depp as a pirate, and initially when he came out as the pirate, I would have like, Johnny Depp as a
No.
pirate? I don't see it.
Johnny
and then
Depp
he comes out and he
is
plays
a great
the part,
actor,
and you're like,
but no.
oh,
Yeah.
you're like, holy crap. But I mean, I think if you find an actor that is that good, that can come out and become Sinbad for 2 or 3 movies,
Yeah.
I think you'd have to look for him though.
Yeah, you would. There's
The Rock
somebody
is a
out
good
there.
one. If you put The Rock in there, you're going to have a lot of good fight scenes. You're going to have a lot
Yeah.
of stuff blown up, a lot of good moments where he looks at the camera and smiles, the typical Rock smile, which is going to be awesome. But I think you could also get somebody who, man, I'm just trying to think of who you could get.
There's a lot out there, and if we did some digging, we could
Yeah.
find. That's one of the things I wanted to bring up. This is movies made in 1977, and
Yeah.
did you see all the diversity in the casting?
Without even trying.
Yeah.
There's no mention of it. They went out and they got the best actors.
Well, they had some
with their
obvious
story, and it was it.
Yeah, they had obvious Persian or Arabian,
Yeah.
Middle East or Egyptian actors, people from that area. There were white people, there were black people, and it just worked. The cast was very diverse. It wasn't like that one movie that had nothing but white Egyptians, the Exodus or something
Gods
like
of
that.
Egypt.
Gods of Egypt.
Wasn't it Gods of Egypt?
Yes.
They're all white gods. It's like, now I don't mind. You know what? Like you and I have talked, and we're going to need to retouch on Charlie Chan.
Yes.
But there are times when I don't really mind if you have 1 or 2 actors playing a part that they maybe on the surface shouldn't be playing. But if they're good enough to pull it off, by God, just let them do it. But when you have a movie called Gods of Egypt, and none of them are even Egyptian looking,
that's a problem. Should have called it.
When they're all whiter than me, come on.
You sure the original title was Aryans of Egypt, but they had to change it.
We will make you understand what we are doing here in Egypt, whether you like it or not.
Oh yes, I just see Hitler's head in a jar.
And this is Alita Hitler. This is Alita Zeus in a jar.
Zeus in a jar. Yeah, so that was one of the things I took away from it. I was like, look how diverse this is. I don't care that Sinbad's white. It doesn't matter because everything is all mixed up in there. And if they could have had anybody in there, it was just here's somebody playing that role, and it wasn't a big deal like today. So I don't want to go on any rants, but it was.
No, it's a valid point. It's a valid point. Without trying, without making a big deal about it, they did it. They just went out and hired people. Yeah. Without trying, without releasing a fucking press statement saying we're diverse.
Yeah.
Just
if you have to do that,
let it happen.
You're not.
If you have to bring it to everyone's attention that you're diverse, you're a racist. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, folks.
That's like starting a conversation. I'm not racist, but
right.
You're about to say some shit.
Mine usually starts out with, I'm not racist, but you're just an asshole.
There you go. There you go. Anyway, back on track. I really enjoyed Sinbad. I want to see more. I'm going to go back and watch some more. This is such a fun movie. I love the adventure movie. Yeah. This reminds me of Indiana Jones, the Mummy movies, just these great adventures. I want more.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so good. The old, you know what I watched the other day also was Robin Hood with Errol Flynn.
Oh wow, I don't think I've seen that.
I think it was The Adventures of Robin Hood. What a good movie. I forgot how good it was. There are some scenes where I'm looking at it from a 21st century like, oh, you should have more action. You need a better sword fight. You need this, you need that. But in actuality, at the time, that was like high action. Yeah. And I'm watching this and thinking, these guys were really good. And the Sheriff of Nottingham was played by Basil Rathbone.
Really?
I forgot that was the sheriff. And boy, he plays a stinker. He's a bad guy in that, man.
You know, one of my favorite adaptations is the Disney animation.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
do
that's
like that
absolutely
version.
fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good
absolutely. I
version.
have it someplace. Yeah. The rooster singing the songs.
Yeah,
It's just
good
freaking
stuff.
great.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So, final
Can't beat
thoughts
it.
on Sinbad.
Absolutely, man. Yes. Like you said, it makes you feel like a little kid again. It's
Yeah,
so good. It had, like you said, a diverse cast without bringing
being
it
a
to
try.
anyone's attention.
Yeah,
It was what it was. It was. I mean, you got Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, just as beautiful as ever. I think she's an immortal. I don't think that woman has aged any more. She looks the exact same to me. Like the last time I saw her, and then seeing her in this movie, I'm looking at her going, she hasn't aged. Yeah, she's just an immortal. Whatever she's doing, just keep doing it because she looked great. She looked
yeah,
great then. She looks great now. Patrick Wayne, I wish he would have done more,
yeah,
but I think he just went off and did his own thing. Whatever he wound up doing. I would have liked to have seen him do better or more
yeah,
stuff because I think he would have gotten much better as an actor.
yeah,
Um, yeah, good movie.
yeah,
The special effects, Harryhausen, anything Harryhausen did, I will watch. Just
yeah.
perfect.
I agree. I really dug this. It just brought me back, and I was like, oh my god, I've
Yes.
seen this before. The effects are good. It's just a
Mhm.
fun movie, and I love an adventure movie that just takes me out of it, and as I
Yeah.
don't have to think about my work day or any bullshit that somebody
Uh-huh.
said to me. It's just like, let's go on an adventure. It's really
Yeah.
cool,
And it's
really cool
just
stuff.
fun. It was
Yeah,
just
it's
fun
just fun.
without having to be uh, one thing or the other. It just was fun.
It's it. That made it so good. It's just fun. This
I
is
just wanted to be Sinbad when I was a kid.
well, hell yeah. You get the
Heck yeah,
girls and you travel the world.
you get the girl, you got the boat, you got you fight monsters, and
Yeah,
everybody likes you. He never
yeah,
goes to a port where nobody likes him. I mean, except the bad
exactly.
guys.
Yeah,
And you got to have that for the story.
yeah, exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah, I dig it.
Cool, cool. So our recommendation at Old Ass Movie Reviews is definitely watch Sinbad, Eye of the Tiger.
Mhm.
Um,
Most of it.
are we going to venture into the realm of H.P. Lovecraft next?
If that is what you so choose. I
Let's
found a
do it. Let's.
few. I think
Okay.
whichever one you want. Tell us which one do you want to watch?
I
I'll
don't know
watch it with
which
you.
one. Which one did you have in mind?
I have never watched the entire Reanimator,
Let's do it.
and there's two movies. They're evidently Reanimator and Reanimator 2,
Yeah.
and then I heard a rumor of a third one floating
There's the
around.
Bride. I think the Bride of Reanimator or something like that.
That's the second one,
Is it okay? I've
I
only.
think.
I love the first one, so we can start off with that, and that goes
Let's
through
start with that one.
the main character and one of the main actors in that is Barbara Crampton, who we got to see in Chopping Mall, Catch on Fire.
Nice.
So in here is one of her early roles, and this
Very
movie
good.
is over the top. It's hilarious and it's freaky.
Right?
It has got
I'm
some
there,
very dark
baby.
humor. I love it. So we will be visiting Reanimator and other either H.P. Lovecraft stories or movies inspired with the H.P. Lovecraft style. So
Very cool.
we're going to take a dark turn here at Old Ass Movie Reviews. So hold on as we awake the
Cool.
elder ones.
Yeah, right.
Praise
Oh,
Cthulhu.
Lovecraft. We hardly Cthulhu, Jim.
All right, until next time, have a good night or day or afternoon or weekend. Later.